joy, and we've been singing songs about love, and we've been singing songs about the Lord. And you know what? Wouldn't it be neat to do a song that just kind of talks about all of those? Well, here's a song that does. It goes just like this. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart. Down in my heart. Oh, I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart. And if the devil doesn't like it, he can sit on a tack. Sit on a tack. Sit on a tack. And if the devil doesn't like it, he can sit on a tack. Sit on a tack to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart, down in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart. You know what? We're going to do a really hard part now, but it's a lot of fun. And it just goes like this. So you got to listen real close, and then we're going to try singing it together in just a little bit. Listen to this. I've got the wonderful love of my blessed Redeemer way down in the depths of my heart. Where? Down in the depths of my heart. Where? Down in the depths of my heart. I've got the wonderful love of my blessed Redeemer way down in the depths of my heart. Where? Down in the depths of my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart, down in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart. Now, boys and girls, you're going to sing it all with me. And we're going to do it all the way through. So are you ready? Sing it. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart, down in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart. And if the devil doesn't like it, he can sit on a tack. Sit on a tack. Sit on a tack. And if the devil doesn't like it, he can sit on a tack. Sit on a tack to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart, down in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart. I got the wonderful love of my blessed Redeemer way down in the depths of my heart. Where? Down in the depths of my heart. Where? Down in the depths of my heart. I got the wonderful love of my blessed Redeemer way down in the depths of my heart. Where? Down in the depths of my heart to stay. Sing the chorus. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart, down in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart.
Hi, I'm Jackson, and I'm here today to tell you the story of one of Jesus' apostles by the name of John. So let's go visit John today.
Who are you, young man?
I'm Jackson, and I'm here today to talk to you about how you met Jesus, and I want to hear some stories about Jesus.
Well, I met Jesus on the seashore at Galilee while I was fishing with my brother James and my father Zebedee. We had also fished with two other men by the name of Peter and Andrew.
Peter and Andrew, weren't they with Jesus too? Weren't they his apostles?
Yes, we were all called to follow Jesus and become fishers of men. My brother James and I said goodbye to our dad and mom and left our fishing boats to follow Jesus and become one of his disciples.
Wow, I bet it was hard to leave your mom and dad behind to follow Jesus.
Yes, it was, but to follow Jesus was a great honor and privilege, and I was so glad that he chose me to be one of his apostles. I became very close to Jesus, and he called me his beloved disciple, and also called me the disciple whom Jesus loved.
Oh, that's great that you were so close to Jesus. I wish I could have lived during that time to see Jesus and to follow him too.
We got to see many miracles of Jesus and hear all his stories and parables that he taught.
Well, why don't you tell me about some of the miracles you saw Jesus do?
Sure. One day we were out in a boat on the Sea of Galilee and a bad storm came. We were so afraid. We thought we were going to die. We woke Jesus up and told him to help us. He stood up, told the sea to be calm, and it became peaceful.
Wow. I wish Jesus was here sometimes when we have a bad storm, because I get scared. I guess I'll just have to pray and ask him to help me not to be afraid.
Another day, Jesus had preached all day, and it was getting late, and the people had nothing to eat. So we found a boy that had 5 little loaves of bread and 2 small fish. We wondered how Jesus could feed 5,000 people with that small amount of food. But all of a sudden, we reached into the baskets. We had fish and bread, and pretty soon we had enough to feed everybody and still have leftovers.
Wow, that's so great. We have church dinners at our church and we feed the people, but we have to buy all the food at the store. Next time we have a dinner, I'm going to tell the pastor just to get 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, and we could feed the whole church. We could save a lot of money.
Yes, and another time we were with Jesus in somebody's house, and he was teaching, and a big crowd gathered around the house. 4 men came to the house carrying a paralyzed man on his bed. There was no room to come into the house, so they went up on the roof and opened some of the roof and lowered the man down with ropes. Jesus was so impressed with the faith of these men that he healed the man, and the man got up and picked up his bed and walked out of the house.
Wow, that's another great story. I sure hope they fixed the man's roof that they opened up, because the next time it rained, it would get messy in there.
Yes, they did. Jesus did so many wonderful miracles. I could go on and on all day, but you can read them in one of the books that I wrote. It's called the Gospel of John in the Bible. I also wrote 3 epistles and the last book of the Bible called the Revelation of Jesus.
You wrote 5 books of the Bible. That's great. You must be pretty smart.
No, I'm just a simple fisherman, but God gave me the words to write, so I just wrote what he told me to.
Well, what are your greatest memories of being with Jesus?
The night before Jesus died, we had the Last Supper, which was a very special time to spend with Jesus. After that supper, he washed our feet and told us to go out and be servants like he was. Then he went to the garden, and Peter, James, and I got to be near Jesus and hear him pray to his Father. The next day, I watched as Jesus was crucified, and I stood at the foot of the cross with his mother Mary and Mary Magdalene and a few other women. We watched as Jesus cried, "It is finished," and died that day. But maybe the greatest memory was 3 days later when Peter and I ran to the tomb after we had heard that he had risen from the grave and found only his grave clothes there because the tomb was empty. He had risen from the dead.
Wow. I know that Jesus died for our sins and rose again so that we could be saved. I believe that because I've been taught that and I've read that in the Bible, but it must have been great to actually have seen all that you did see. What did you do after the resurrection?
40 days after the resurrection, Jesus gathered us all up and told us to preach the gospel to the whole world. And then we watched as he ascended up into heaven.
Wow, you got to watch Jesus go back to heaven? That must have been quite a sight. So what did you do after that?
Well, we did what Jesus told us to, and we preached the gospel everywhere we could. I eventually was arrested for preaching the gospel a number of times and ended up on the island of Patmos as a prisoner. It was there that Jesus appeared to me for the final time and told me the things that would happen in the future, and it became known as the book of Revelation.
Oh, John, thank you so much for being a beloved disciple of Jesus. You loved him so much and you gave him your life to serve. I hope that I can be a follower of Jesus too, just like you were, and serve Jesus faithfully like you did all your life. You were just a simple fisherman, but God turned you into a great man of God. Thank you for your story. And kids, thanks for watching today. See everybody next week. Bye-bye.